Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that we're going to talk about this Saturday afternoon is something that I noticed yesterday. Maxwell Frost, this is the kid who has been elected as the youngest Gen Z member of Congress, all on gun control for March for Our Lives. That guy. Well, he's put forward a new bill after he put forward another bill introducing zombie guns. That's really happened last week. Everything that I'm about to show you is linked into the description box below, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. Now, the content that we're going to talk about, what he just did, is much broader in scope than what it looks like on the surface. He's going after gun dealers. Now, the way in which he's going about gun dealers and some of the things that happened prior to this magically aligned to his announcement yesterday, or Thursday rather. You just tell me if you see the lines, all right? Now, the article in question here, Congressman Maxwell Frost announces new gun legislation. Again, this is the exact same guy who put forward zombie gun legislation last week. And if you're not familiar, they classify zombie guns as anything that has been turned in and then the parts stripped away and the parts resold somewhere else. That's a zombie gun because it uses parts from other guns that were in buybacks when the actual gun was destroyed. So effectively, because of the New York Times reporting in December and the outrage and the fury that came from the gun buyback falling flat on its face and dispelling all the magical virtue signal that the left had been cashing in on, they came up with the zombie gun bill. Well, now we're looking at something that's probably built on the ATF releasing the problem gun dealer database and the access to it a couple of weeks ago. We covered it on this channel. Look what they're coming out with now, because they're going after these gun dealers. But this is not at all an attack or not at all too far. Check this out. Today, Congressman Maxwell Alejandro Frost, Democrat Florida, alongside Representatives Robin Kelly, Democrat Illinois, and Delia Ramirez, Democrat Illinois, announced the introduction of the Prevent Illegal Gun Resales Act. Legislation aimed at tackling the flow of illegal guns into communities and neighborhoods by holding gun retailers accountable for selling to bad actors, also known as straw purchasers, who turn around and sell guns to people who are not legally allowed to own them. Congressman Frost's legislation would go after the gun retailers who enable unscrupulous gun dealers, as statistics show that 90% of guns used in crimes come from about 5% of gun dealers. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to go after the actual retailers themselves for straw purchasing. Now, the big irony in this, if you're not familiar, the ATF is responsible for tracking down straw purchasing and illegal trafficking. All those things fall under the ATF's purview. It's not the responsibility of the gun shop to go down the ATF's role and enforce it. From a standpoint of law enforcement, the gun shops are required to ask questions and are looked at as a partner to prevent straw purchases. But again, straw purchases are someone walks in a gun store and says, I want to buy that gun, and their background check clears and they've mentioned nothing about selling the gun or handing the gun to anybody else. That's supposed to be the gun shop. The gun shop should know that. In fact, listen to how insane the requirements are that are coming out of this, because it's pretty obvious what you're trying to do here when you just look at what they're requesting. The Prevent Illegal Gun Resales Act would add common sense structural reform to the gun sale industry by boosting license application requirements to gun retailers, proportionally increasing the cost of licensing fees, and adding a new definition for high-risk dealers that would include sellers who, here we go, had a known violation or warning in the past 3 years, had firearms either lost or stolen from within them the preceding year, or were the source of 2 or more guns with a time to crime of 3 years or less. Now, this is so key to understand the data and the analysis on these pieces of criteria, because if you have someone who does a straw purchase and that gun is used in a crime, again, the gun shop has no idea, then you're now going to be in hot water and considered a high-risk dealer with higher licensing fees and higher requirements to meet from something you did not do. Understand, that's what they're saying here. And also, this would snare up and entrap everybody who sells a large quantity of guns, because the more guns that you sell, the more the likelihood of someone lying to you is. This is solely meant to destroy gun retailers. This is not meant to be a common sense thing. This is literally meant to raise the pricing for gun dealers for licensing and stuff of that nature, which will then factor down to the actual consumer. Once again, Democrats are making it more expensive to get to your rights, the party that is for the little guy. That's a theme that consistently reoccurs because it's true. Now I got one more thing for you. Look who is backing this. The legislation has been endorsed by March for Our Lives, Community Justice, Everytown, Giffords, and Brady. Just so happens those exact same groups have people in the Office of Gun Violence Prevention in the White House as assistant directors. But I'm sure none of it's tied together in a big grand conspiracy. We're just talking crazy. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.